Hello, Scorpio. This is Barb at Mystic Door Tarot, and this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for the week of March 29th through April 4th. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. And please subscribe and join me daily for my quick glance daily readings. Now keep in mind, these are general readings and will not resonate with everyone. You can obtain a private reading by clicking the link to my website below. And also be sure to watch your rising sign and your moon sign, which might resonate with you more for this particular week. And I am working with the very colorful Groovy Waite tarot deck for this week's reading. So let's get started and see what your cards are indicating for you this week. Your first card, the Queen of Wands. Next, the Five of Swords. And the Four of Swords. Now, your Shaman oracle card for the week, Will-o'-the-Wisp. And your crystal for the week is Bloodstone. Okay, Scorpio. So your cards here are indicating a big focus in putting all your energy into you, Scorpio. This is all about taking care of yourself over others, getting enough rest, getting in touch with the spiritual side of yourself if you don't do that on a regular basis. And your thought process is really playing it safe, which is going to change. Now, your first card, Scorpio, here is the Queen of Wands, which can be an Aries or a Leo individual that might be crossing your path this week. This would most likely be a very independent, creative, confident, and passionate individual dedicated to her pursuits in life, whether it be career, family, or love. Usually very popular, fun to be around, and people enjoy her company as she has a very inspiring energy and a very positive, uplifting demeanor. This is a queen that takes chances, following her passion, and lives life with her own personal flair. Now, looking at the card here, we see her sitting on her throne with a sunflower in one hand, which is a symbol of happiness and optimism, and her wand in the other, which just interprets as her inspiration. It's her life force, it's motivation and power, what she possesses from her wand. Now, we usually see the Queen of Wands with a cat, which is a symbol of perception and psychic knowing, because cats are very aware of what's happening around them, but tend to keep their observations to themselves. Now, the Queen of Wands can usually be found as a leader in business, groups, organizations, very successful. And if this queen is helping you, she will put you in the right place at the right time with the right people. So I see many Scorpios having this type of individual showing up this week, kind of pointing you in a particular direction, making you think differently than you currently are. Now, for other Scorpio individuals, you are possessing the traits of the Queen of Wands, and you will be pursuing something very intensely this week. Now, your next card, Scorpio, is the Five of Swords, which is a card of always wanting to be right, holding on to an idea for the sake of it, always wanting to have the last word in a discussion or argument. So, some Scorpios with this card turning up, be careful what words you're saying this week, as you might be getting into some form of an argument with someone, and you could say words that you can never take back. For some of you, the Five of Swords shows up when you're in what I'm going to say an unhealthy situation or lifestyle or a way of being or thinking. And you don't want to change as you feel others will put their 2 cents in, kind of indicating they've been telling you that all along. So, in essence, it wouldn't feel like your own idea. But the biggest thing I'm picking up with the Five of Swords for you, Scorpio, is that you've been repeating patterns that you know are what I'm going to say to be dysfunctional. They don't line up with your true, authentic self. And you're getting caught up in with wanting to change or taking steps to change, but you're feeling that's going to be a sign of weakness. But it's actually the opposite, Scorpio. Taking control and changing recognized faults is actually a huge strength that you could possess, Scorpio. Now, the Five of Swords is actually Aquarius's card, so it's a very independent, perceptive, emotionally detached kind of energy. It is the number 5 energy, which is all about bringing in change. And it's that initial struggle on a new path, Scorpio. So that's kind of more what this card is indicating, breaking old habits. It's shaking things up. And the number 5 energy always seems to provide lessons that are learned. And 5 is the number of the throat chakra, which concerns communication, which brings us back to be careful with your words this week, Scorpio, as you might say something that's going to hurt others. Now, your next card is the Four of Swords, and a very interesting one, to say the least. Now, even though the Four of Swords is one step back here from your Five of Swords, you're actually going in the right direction. The Four of Swords is taking a rest, a retreat, a vacation. It is time for a break, Scorpio. But specifically, this is the time of a more spiritual break to tune into your higher self, tune into your intuition, and tap into spirit. Now, the Four of Swords can be an indication to seek some help or counsel or advice. And for some Scorpios, that specifically is to tune into your inner guiding voice, connect with spirit for direction and guidance. Now, for other Scorpios, the Four of Swords not only is showing up for you to connect with spirit, but it's also an indication and advising you to actually keep a new idea that you possibly have at this time, Scorpio. Keep it to yourself. You need to let the idea kind of grow in your mind before you're going to share it with the world. Now, the Four of Swords is actually Libra's card, so it's a time to have everything balanced and centered and grounded. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is bringing in good luck and more knowledge and happiness, good health, good fortune. And the number 4 energy of this card signifies stability. It's about you thinking rationally, just dealing with the practical parts of life and being self disciplined. 4 is the number of the heart chakra, which is concerned with your balance and with love. Now, your numerology for your tarot cards here, Scorpio, is number 10. And I think a current phase or a current way that you thought about things is coming to an end. And picking up such a different thought process, which is kind of more indicating to think about yourself first, Scorpio. Take care of yourself first is the message that's coming through. And the number 10 energy reduces down to 1, and you're headed towards something new. Something is wanting to emerge here, Scorpio, but it's more of a spiritual nature. So, meditating and connecting with spirit is going to point you in the right direction as to what your cards are all about and indicating this week. Now, your oracle card for the week is from the new Shaman's Dream Oracle deck, and you received Will o' the Wisp. And it indicates on the card here treasures hidden in the shadows. Now, sometimes will-o'-the-wisp in general gets a bad rap. It can be betrayed or, yeah, betrayed as something that's going to lead you in the wrong direction. But for this card, it is some form of luminescent guidance calling you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown, Scorpio. And for some Scorpios, you may have been visited by this type of energy before. And even though you were intrigued, you refused the invitation. You thought it would be safer. You had decided to remain on the path or journey that you already knew. So, the message with this Will o' the Wisp card is that you always have a choice as to whether to follow this energy or not. But you never know when you'll come across this energy again. It's kind of like an opportunity that shows up every now and then. So, with this card showing up, the Will o' the Wisp has come to you once again, Scorpio, to offer you magic. But you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, and your well trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray, or they will lead you in the right direction. This is the possibility of accepting that losing yourself will bring you closer to your true self. So it's kind of like letting go to your current way of thinking, which is what your tarot cards here were already indicating for this week. Will o' the Wisp card showing up for you is indicating like a profound shift, kind of like an epiphany, can only occur when you risk entering the unknown. So, this is saying now is the time to trust higher forces to lead you into this place, this hidden world, being at the threshold between what was and what can be. So, Scorpio, it's kind of like getting a glimpse as to what you could be doing, what you could be if you just stepped into the light. You might say this is a place where you learn about your own unmaking, and you just have to take all the masks off. And you're going to have to accept and just love what you discover seeing. You're going to have to view everything that you are witnessing as divine, and then finding a quiet power waiting for you to channel it into the world for good. So, this is a very, very spiritual card in energy that you'll be dealing with. And you're going to be finding these hidden treasures that's going to be filled with just a wealth of love and kindness and true prosperity that you're going to be able to have the time to share with others. So the Will o' the Wisp is showing up. It's here for you now. So this card's asking you, are you going to accept the invitation this time? Because a greater bounty of goodness awaits you. It's about stepping into the light, kind of your true destiny, Scorpio. This is all about venturing into the unknown place that is far out of your comfort zone, tapping deep into almost a different dimension, if you want to call it that, a very deep level of spirituality here that's waiting for you, Scorpio. So, what this card is indicating is trusting in yourself and just really spending a lot of time just on you, changing your way of thinking, Scorpio, and stepping out of your comfort zone and realizing something new is wanting to emerge, a new way of thinking, which is going to put you then on the path to being very successful and also sharing your gifts with others. Now, your angels and guides are suggesting the bloodstone crystal, as this is a very strong sign for you, indicating it's time for you to start to look after yourself, Scorpio. And You're probably not going to see the red specks, but this is my bloodstone crystal. So this is a very strong message coming in for you, Scorpio, with this crystal. This is about trying to ground and detox your physical body as well as your spiritual energy. It's an indication that you haven't been looking after yourself, and balance is definitely needed in your life, Scorpio. So, first, your angels and guides are suggesting eating in moderation, choosing foods which will nourish and ground you. Pay attention to what you're drinking, and are you drinking enough water? Are you focused on what you're breathing in? Or is there a lot of dust or chemicals around you? Your angels and guides are suggesting to take a look at those things and to meditate with the bloodstone crystal, as there's an indication. Also, you're getting drained by other people's energy, Scorpio. So there is a need to try to shield your energy from negative or toxic people and to change your thought process. Make sure that it's positive and uplifting. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people. So, with your angels and guides choosing the bloodstone crystal, it's a huge indication. As I was picking up at first glance with your cards, there was this energy of taking care of yourself, Scorpio, before anyone else. You have the habit of just like helping others and then not bothering in regards to yourself. So, that kind of thought process needs to change, Scorpio. So, heed the advice here of your angels and guides. Make sure you have the bloodstone crystal and that you're meditating daily and detoxing at the beginning of the day and then at the end of the day to rid yourself of draining energies that have attached themselves to you throughout the day. So, in summary, for this week, Scorpio, you're starting off with the Queen of Wands, which can be an Aries or Leo individual that might be crossing your path this week. Now, this could be someone that's going to help you advance, as the Queen of Wands is very good in seeing the potential of other individuals. And this queen might be putting you in the right place at the right time with the right people, helping you out in regards to whatever it is you're passionate about. So it could be your current job, or it could be a hobby or something that you really enjoy doing. And this individual is going to either give you information or advice or point you in the right direction where you can take advantage of your gifts and talents. Now, for other Scorpios, this card showing up could mean that you are possessing some of the traits associated with the Queen of Wands, which in turn is kind of pointing you in the same direction as if she was helping you herself. Now, next, you have the Five of Swords, which is basically showing up for most Scorpios this week, kind of an indication that you might have been repeating patterns that really don't align with your true, authentic self. So it's about changing that. And that's your thought process, your communication. And for some Scorpios, watch the words you speak this week as well. And the Four of Swords is a direct indication for a spiritual retreat. Take some time out, rest, maybe a vacation. Take a break, Scorpio. Tune into your higher self. This is an indication to connect with spirit. That's where I'm picking up such angelic communication, wanting to come through to you, Scorpio. And with all this sword energy right here, it's got to do with your mental energies, your thought process, indicating a time for change. And your numerology here for your tarot cards is number 10, which is indicating your current phase or cycle of your life is ending. And it's reducing it further down to number 1. It's an indication that there's something new wanting to emerge, which brings us to our next card, your Shaman's card, Will o' the Wisp. It's an indication that there has been something that has presented itself to you in the past, maybe several times, but you didn't want to take a chance. So this has got the indication of like an epiphany, Scorpio. It's a shift in the way you think and possibly moving towards what we're going to call the unknown. The message is indicating now is the time to trust higher forces and lead you into a place where it's like a threshold between how you were, what was, and what can be. So it's kind of exciting because it's almost like a glimpse of what your future can hold for you. But there is that sacrifice of like taking that leap of faith and moving forward into very unsure and uncharted territory. And this has to do with your abilities, your gifts, your talents, Scorpio. And that could be what the Queen of Wands is helping you out with. So, what is it that you really, truly would like to be doing in your life? So, with this card showing up, it's indicating this energy is here once again for you, and it's asking this time if you'll accept the invitation because there is a great bounty of goodness that awaits you. And your angels and guides are indicating to meditate with the bloodstone crystal and to focus on starting to take better care of yourself, Scorpio. This is paying attention to what you eat, drink, breathe in, getting enough sleep and exercise, paying attention to you first, Scorpio, before helping others. There's also an indication of negative, draining energy around you, possibly on a daily basis, that this bloodstone crystal will help eliminate and clear that energy away from you. So, Scorpio, you have the Queen of Wands, your Four of Swords, indicated to connect with spirit, the Will-o'-the-Wisp, indicating a very strong spiritual presence to help you along, and your angels and guides indicating for you to carry the bloodstone crystal this week. These are all forces, whether on earth or spiritual, that are wanting to point you in the right direction this week. For some Scorpios, you possess hidden gifts or talents that by going within and tapping into spirit and meditating, you can then be tapping into this angelic communication that several of your cards are indicating is out there waiting for you, Scorpio, to hear the call and take advantage of the messages and direction that you're being directed to go in. So, Scorpio, what is your passion? What is it you'd like to be doing with your life? As you do have so many influences in your cards and reading this week, just waiting there, wanting to point you in the right direction. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe and help support my channel if you haven't already. And for private readings with me, just click on my website link below. Love and abundance to my Scorpio family.